We're officially on the road to Khe Sanh, and I'm actually on this pretty dead highway. It's very strange actually, but I got this rain jacket obviously, and it looks like it's about to rain real soon. We're going to be heading deep into those mountains, a bit further up that way, right near the border of Laos. And this is really the first time I've gotten to see, you know, how the terrain really was during the Vietnam War. Just dense jungle, tall mountains for a very, very, very long way. But anyway, I'm probably going to stay the night in Khe Sanh to give us more of a chance to explore. But it'll sort of be interesting staying in that town and seeing what we can get up to. But anyway, back on the road. Doing about 80 on this road, and it's not raining too bad right now, but it was before, and dude, it is like needles slapping you on the face. A bunch of tiny razors raining on you. So we've come all the way from Hue down here, and we've driven up to there so far. We have an hour and 22 minutes to go, and then go into Khe Sanh. Yeah, this road is pretty damn boring. It's just a straight road and then we turn left off into the mountains. My trusty little steed doing its thing. Well, I'm going to put you back inside and maybe we get some food somewhere as I go and turn off to go onto that mountain road. Wow, dude, that river's crazy. All I can think of right now is that if it's this crazy for me to drive on a paved road in the middle of the mountains and it's raining and I've got cover on me and everything, what was it like in the 60s when people had to fight? You know, like down there in the jungle. Man, crazy. We've made the appropriate highway turn and I've been trying to find a place to eat. You have food? You have food? Eat? Eat?
No.
Over there's food, okay. Alright. Yeah, this place looks it. Hello, how are you? You have a menu.
Menu.
Menu, yes, for food.
Nhà mình có.
No menu? Okay, maybe we'll have to figure it out then. Noodle, rice.
Tiền và ăn lót cơm.
Okay, alright, sweet. I told her to literally make me anything and I'll eat it. Great, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Hopefully I don't get sick from any of this, but should be okay. Okay, alright. Thank you so much. Have a good one. We're just over halfway through this journey. But the difference now is that we're going to be going on one of these main roads that's going to go directly through the mountains. So it's not going to be quite as straight as the road that we were just on. So I need to be mentally prepared for traveling in the mountains. We're about 15 minutes away from Khe Sanh, and as I was driving, I stumbled across this bus station slash hotel that looks to be completely abandoned. And if you know anything about me, you know I love abandoned things. It's the Lao Bao Special Economic Commercial Area. I think I'm gonna go inside and explore a little bit because I really want to. Now it's about 3:30 p.m. and in Vietnam that means it's going to get dark within the next hour and a half. So we're gonna be quick about this. Wow, dude. Some kids playing some volleyball right here once upon a time. An old economic zone. This is so interesting. This feels like when I was in Bulgaria and I explored Todor Zhivkov's place. It has the same kind of architecture and feeling as that. It's like the instant reminder I'm getting in my head. Wicked. I was not expecting this on this journey to Khe Sanh, baby. Was not expecting this at all. Smells so terrible. What the fuck? Oh, damn. All right. Well, goodbye, mysterious economic zone. Wow, what a treat. What a treat. Whew. Alrighty, I'll see you in Khe Sanh. Officially welcome to the village of Khe Sanh here in Vietnam. And there is this massive structure right here. It's a brutalist commemoration for a war that my people lost, I guess. Okay, I need to find a hotel to stay in or something. But there is this little cafe here. And I've noticed that this town is actually an elevated town. Maybe that's why it was so important. We're quite high up at the moment. But once you get up here, it's relatively flat. I turned up to a spot that I thought was a hotel and it wasn't. And then the kid in there directed me to come to here, the Hills Hotel. So hopefully I can get a place here just for tonight, because it's going to get dark super soon. Apparently this is not a bad place to stay for a one night kind of thing. Damn. Hello? Hello? Is there anyone here? Hello? Ah, hello. Can I please have a booking for one night? Okay, floor 3. 300,000 dong for the night. It's not too bad. I probably should check the room out first, but I'm trusting the reviews. Alright, cool. Done. Perfect. No complaints. Oh cool, there's a little balcony. Wow, it's an old school brutalist balcony. Oh, great view too, look at this. Cool. Alright, tomorrow at the crack of dawn we're gonna go out onto the outskirts of the town and check out some of the Vietnam War things that remain, if there's any murals or anything like that, and we'll just investigate the area in general. So learning a little bit about Khe Sanh and its history. I've heard it so many times before. Khe Sanh, Khe Sanh, Khe Sanh. And it was Americans versus Viet Cong. I thought that Australians were involved somehow, and I think they were with the Royal Australian Air Force, but that's about it. But it was basically one of the worst places you could have been during the Vietnam War. For 70 days, I believe it was 6,000 US soldiers had to hold off against 20,000 Viet Cong. And there was a massive siege here. And it all has to do with the valleys in this particular region it's in. We're very close to Laos. We're not super duper far away from Cambodia if you were to go there by plane or by a Huey. And the way that these mountains are around Khe Sanh and the valleys around it, it's a very strategic position. But despite it being brutally attacked and besieged for so long, apparently it was just a diversion tactic from the Viet Cong to keep the Americans focused on this town. And basically everyone who fought here, anytime the town name Khe Sanh comes up, they're always like, fucking Khe Sanh, man. Alright, anyway, let's get the bike into town and see where we end up. It's probably wise if I put my rain jacket back on. So, I guess we can spend a little bit of time going around exploring before we fully lose the sunlight. Alright, I think we're going to park over here where I parked when I entered the town, actually. Do they have beer in here, maybe? Khe Sanh pretty small, keep in mind. It's a pretty small town. It's not big.
Closed.
It's closed. Ah, no. Cafe down? Okay, alright. I guess I'll just I'll leave the bike here and we'll go explore. I have, probably for the past 5 or 6 years, wanted to come to this town. I've stared at it on Google Maps. I've seen it in TV shows and movies and documentaries and heard the name many times in many Vietnam War songs. And I don't think it's really what I expected. Tell you what though, don't spend your Saturdays in Khe Sanh. This is a Saturday. Clearly there's not much happening here. Ah, milk tea and fast food. I want a beer is what I want. Oh, America. Hello. Do you have beer?
Yeah.
Beer? Okay. The lady over there, she just bought my beer at the place across the street and bringing it over. Ah, thank you so much. Oh, it's Saigon as well. Saigon. It's a bit warm though. We don't want warm beer here. No. Oh, you got ice. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Saigon beer ice. Love it. Now I want to get a couple of snacky wackies. So I know I'm gonna get hungry if I go into my hotel room now. Oh, this place looks sick to explore. Look at this. More abandoned places. Gosh, I just think I'm in Call of Duty Black Ops half the time. When I see something that's not new, it looks about 70, 80 years old, 90 years old. It just brings me straight back to Black Ops. Enemy Strozhina! Enemy spy plane inbound. Enemy RCXD spotted. Hello, hello. You have one-ones? Rice crackers?
Cái vỏ nữa, cái xác nữa, cái đồ rượu vào ngâm lâu vậy.
Oh, little kitty. Hello, little kitty.
Phố là miếng phá nữa, cái nước sấu đá nữa.
Oh, that looks delicious. What? That looks so good. I want that. Hello! What are you making? What kind of food?
Làm cho tôi bất cứ thứ gì.
Food. Yes. Okay. Just yeah. Whatever it ends up being, whatever it turns out to be, I'll eat it. Okay, this is definitely more fresh than the roadside place I had food at earlier today. Oh, dude, this is perfect after it's been raining all day. Absolutely perfect. Oh wow, that's a lot of food. That is a lot of food. No way I'm gonna eat all this. There's no chance. There's no chance. Alright, well, good night from Khe Sanh, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Boys, didn't even really show y'all what else was actually in this room. In the fridge here, you got, I've drank a lot of them now, but free Cokes, free waters, free iced teas. And also over here, look at all this free stuff. A razor and a comb and a couple of toothbrushes and some earbuds. Like, you're really getting value for money here. This is about $14 US a night. I'm also watching a lot of Black Ops 1. I'm in nostalgia mode right now. Again, anytime I'm in a country where there's a lot of, you know, pop culture kind of thing in movies or video games or songs or whatever, I just go mad. Watch Platoon, watch Apocalypse Now, watch documentary videos on Vietnam, including Khe Sanh. Go watch some Call of Duty Black Ops 1 gameplay. Like, there is literally a mission in Black Ops 1's campaign set in Khe Sanh. And I'm going to go to where the combat base was in that mission tomorrow.
Vietnam. Fucking Khe Sanh.
This was in 1968.
Yeah, I was part of the SOG unit led by Frank Woods. It was recon on covert Russian activity in Laos.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Good morning, Vietnam. time for us to head out into, well, maybe not this direction, but one of the directions out there to the old US combat base. They have a bunch of old military aircraft that used to exist around this area during the war. So we're gonna go check that out, as well as a few other things in town. So come with me. To fight during the Battle of Khe Sanh in the Vietnam War meant that you were a badass. It meant you had to be an absolute badass. This town I'm in right now, well, we're heading on the outskirts of the town because this is where the combat base was. It was one of the most brutal battles of all of the Vietnam War for both the Americans as well as the Viet Cong. 6,000 US troops up against 20,000 Viet Cong soldiers. It was one of the only times during the war that the Americans were actually outnumbered by a huge amount. To make sure I'm going the right way, I'm going to stop for a second. Hello, sir. How are you? He's dressed up. You're a soldier as well. How are you, man? How are you? Good to see you. You,
Vietnam.
Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh.
Không biết rồi, nhưng mà đây Việt Nam, ở đây xứ nào?
Vietnam, Australia.
Australia.
Australia. Yes. Hi, good to meet you, my man. Úc. Nate. Nate, good to meet you, man. Do you know much about, Khe Sanh, American Vietnam War? Khe Sanh? Do you know much? A combat base is that way, is it? Oh, combat base is around that way. Ah, okay. You're looking like a military man. Did you fight in the war? Did you fight in American war? You? Did you fight in American war? No? You didn't? You are Viet Cong? Okay. Alright, I'll go there. I'm just going to check out this building. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It was worth asking, just in case. You never know. So my grandfather's brother was drafted into the Vietnam War. And I think I've only met him one time. I'm very close with my papa, who's my grandpa. I call him Papa. Both America and Australia were obviously very involved in the war. America was taking the lead, but Australia followed suit. And Australia was the only other country that provided both air, land, and sea troops to this war. And we also had a draft system. I think there were about 60,000 Australians that fought in the Vietnam War. Now, I don't think this is related to the Vietnam War. I don't think so. Could be, but I don't think so. I think we drove past the combat base. My dude here was dressed up like bloody Viet Cong. You never know. I don't think he was old enough. The only people that would remember this stuff, people in their 70s and 80s, maybe late 60s, depending on when. Yeah, right there was the airstrip. Right there was the old airstrip. In fact, I'll see what I can do about putting a map of the 1968 air combat base and comparing it to what we can see in the modern day. Because it's all grown over now where that airstrip was. It was massive. And here we go. We can see a couple of American aircraft over there. Alright, I did drive past it. So how am I going to get my ass in here, though, is the question. There's a barbed wire fence. Yeah, so this entire area, all the way on the other side there, behind those trees, that whole section, all the way up and down, was the old airstrip. And if you've played the game Call of Duty Black Ops 1, there was a mission set in Khe Sanh, and it was set right here where we are right now. So if you've played that mission, you'll know that right at the start they go under siege immediately, and you're just constantly getting swarmed by soldiers. have a feeling that the combat base may not be open today. I think this barbed wire here is the official entry, I think so. I did not come all the way out to Khe Sanh for this motherfucker to be closed. Okay, I think I can sneak under here pretty easy maybe. Oh, maybe not. Fucking hell, this whole thing's barbed wire, god damn. Sure as shit is half a combat base still. This fucking barbed wire right there. God damn, man. Oh, I've got to go around. Ah, okay, maybe it's not closed. Okay, thank you so much. Around this way. Okay, great. I don't have to sneak under the barbed wire. That guy up there, I think he might be showing me the way. He's wearing a military hat as well. And he's an older gentleman. I guess you never know, man. He could have fought here. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you, my friend. Okay, up this road, sweet. What a good lad. All right. Oh, there we go, okay. Yep, this is it. Sweet. Oh. Whoops. Oh, shit. Hello, doggy. Who's your good doggy? Who's your good doggy? Who's your very good doggy? Well, the mirror popped out of place. Okay, sweet. Yeah, easy fix. There we go. Nice and easy, yeah? Thank you very much, my friend. Now, one thing we're seeing right off the bat, if you've seen Platoon, if you've played Call of Duty Black Ops 1, seen Apocalypse Now, seen any photo of the Vietnam War, chances are you've seen one of these, which is a good old Huey helicopter, made by Bell Helicopter, I believe. Holy shit. Huge, mate. Huge. Look how massive that blade propeller is. Absolutely enormous. Yeah, right here is a section of the combat base. Now, it's not directly on where the combat base used to be. Maybe a small section of it is. And like Afghanistan, unfortunately, when America withdrew from Vietnam, it left shit tons of equipment behind. Now for Vietnam, I guess it's kind of difficult because this place is a dense jungle with lots of mountains. You know, you're gonna inevitably leave some things behind. But I think it was a mistake for America and Afghanistan to leave so much, like literally billions and billions of dollars worth of equipment behind. It was a bad idea. But we have another fucking, this is a helicopter? This is a helicopter supplied to the US Army since '59. The helicopter is used for transporting ambulance, air conveying, and supporting to headquarters craft. Damn, man, what a beast of a machine! What an absolute beast! Oh, I so wish I could go inside. Wow. Whew. Sandbags. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if this indeed was a real bunker. Looking out there, this would have been on the very side of the airfield, maybe a little bit further out. Now, one thing I do want to show you as well. I believe the Vietnam War, more bombs were dropped than World War I and World War II combined, which is crazy to think about, but again, I don't know, I guess I would say World War I is kind of tough to compare it to because they didn't have anywhere near as many bombs at that time. By the time the 1960s rolled around, America had quite a few, and here, some of them are. This would have been ordnance they found back in the ground and picked up, most likely, or anything that was left behind. I don't know if any of this contained napalm in it, I'm not sure. But wow. Damn, man. Whoa. Look at that. Now, the Vietnam War is still killing people to this very day. There is so much unexploded ordnance all across Vietnam, but particularly this region because of the DMZ zone between North and South Vietnam. Just in the jungle, just bombs go off randomly, killing farmers and such. Oh, dude. Whoa, man. Crazy. Look at those tracks, bro. That's so mad. These machines were beasts. They were fucking beasts. I guess we have some small barracks here. Let's go inside. So much mud, but who gives a shit? Wow, are these the trenches? Yeah, man, holy shit. American men would have been sitting inside these trenches getting bombed to shit for 70 days. And this is definitely all real. This is definitely not a replica. Maybe they did it up or whatever because this place was under siege for so long. It's actually nice that they were able to preserve it. And if we look out here, you can see massive American aircraft. Yep, trenches randomly stop. Khe Sanh was known for its red dirt. It was known for its red dirt. And when the bombs were blasting off 24/7 while the town was under siege, this combat base was, you're just getting red dirt all over your shoes. And even me just walking in here as a civilian 56 years after this siege stopped, I got mud all over my shoes. Could you imagine fighting here? Now the amount of Vietnam War vets that would have come back to Khe Sanh and other places across the country to reminisce on the war and try and find a lost piece of themselves that they let here. When good old Uncle Sam drafted them in. There was no love for the soldiers of the Vietnam War when they came back home. Not like World War II, not like World War I. If you haven't seen the movie Born on the 4th of July, I highly recommend it. It's a very, very tough watch. One of the saddest movies I think I've ever seen. But no other movie displays that better than that. What it was like to come home as a Vietnam War vet. Damn, man. Look at this beast. It's crazy because it's like, I wouldn't say plastic is the right word, but it feels like it's made out of plastic. But this is where US airlifted soldiers, when they came in full-blown platoons, would open down the back and they'd come out. If you've seen within the first 2 minutes of the movie Platoon, you would have seen one of these planes. The main character, Chris, comes out. Man, absolutely massive. And then what is this? I guess it's just sort of displaying, this would be a replica, sort of just displaying how was the base defended in terms of, you know, Vietnamese troops being able to walk in, all of this barbed wire everywhere. And this, you know, you just easily get stuck in this. You can walk through it. I guess let's see if we can get close to where the airfield was. I guess this is where the airfield was. Through here. Wow, and down there as well. And I guess, what do we have here? Some drainage. Who's your good cow? Hey. Hey. You having fun here on the old US airstrip? You having a good time? Hey. Don't be scared. Come on, man. Come on, don't be a pussy. Come on. Don't be a pussy. Hey, there we go. Well, I figured I would go out here because if it wasn't for my research last night learning that this is the actual area where the airstrip was, I wouldn't have known. I would not have known. For Australians, their #1 battle was the Battle of Long Tan, not too far away from Ho Chi Minh City. That was the biggest Australian battle, and I think that was in 1966, so it was relatively early on in the war. The Aussies didn't come this far up north. And part of the reason Australia got involved with the US in the Vietnam War, number one is they wanted to strengthen diplomatic ties with the US, but two, the US also wanted the Australians because during World War II, in 1941, when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor and the Western world declared war on them, Australian troops had to come from Europe and fight in the Pacific. And Australian campaigns in Papua New Guinea and other various islands, Aussies became quite adept at fighting in the jungle. Now, US troops did as well, but because Australia was defending its homeland at that point, we got a bit of a additional experience fighting in the jungle, and we sent over military advisors very quickly in the early days, in the 50s, and then we provided combat troops as well. Here we go. Wow, some US military equipment. The M79 hand grenade launcher, oh my gosh. That's one Vietnamese person and one American person. And that there was a good old flashlight. Vietnam War flashlight. And then the US field kitchen. Wow, look at these photos. Yeah, so when we were talking about the air base before, that's how huge it was. It was absolutely massive. And I think where the museum is maybe this little cornered off area here. You know, what they were wearing is so much lighter, so much more fit for the jungle. The Americans were wearing too much. They were wearing way too much equipment. They just overheat in the jungle to start with, carrying too much. Here we go, we've got some more photos of Americans. US Marines panicky withdrawal from their base in July of 1968. I love how they use words like panicky. Basically telling them they were like little bitches. They weren't. They weren't at all. Yeah, look what they've done here. Look what they've done. They're so mean. They've got this photo of this poor chap here withdrawing from the base, and then they've cropped the background out and put him there like he's running away like a little bitch. That's so mean, goddamn. Well, history's written by the victors, I guess. Caution, being a Marine in Khe Sanh may be hazardous to your health. Newsweek. Anti-personnel landmine, Claymore. Wow. Front toward enemy. Bro, if you've played Call of Duty Black Ops, dude, you've seen this a gazillion times. Front toward enemy. What I really do respect about this museum is that, you know, obviously they can't, even though both sides actually claim victory in Khe Sanh officially, you know, this is in Vietnam, so, you know, they're obviously going to show their perspective on it more, which is interesting when you go to museums overseas. But I'm glad that they put a lot of the American stuff in here still. I respect that they did that. Can we write something down? We can. Alright, well, goodbye to the US combat base / museum here in Khe Sanh. Wow, what a pleasure it's been. Mate, Vietnam, what an incredible country, bro. It's making me think of this mission in Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I know I keep talking about Black Ops 1. I know I keep talking about it, but it was the first COD I ever had. I played it to death. Look at this. Look at Vietnam. This is Nam, baby. I'm Sergeant Frank Woods. This is Nam. But where I'm going to take you to right now is a bridge called Viet Cong Bridge. Fidel Castro gave the North Vietnamese the money to build this bridge because it's a symbol of communism. There it is, the Viet Cong Bridge. We're gonna drive across the bridge. I believe there is a mural on the other side dedicated to Ho Chi Minh and the North Vietnamese. Wouldn't surprise me if Fidel's name is mentioned here, could be. But yeah, he gave the North Vietnamese the money to build the bridge as a symbol of goodwill and a symbol of communism. And it's got that typical brutalist structure to it. You'd see things like this in Romania, you see them in Russia, you see them in China, you see them in Vietnam. But here we go, this is dedicated to Ho Chi Minh, the North Vietnamese. Yeah. Duong Ho Chi Minh, Dong Truong Sun, Don Da Krong Aloal. We still have a good solid while before we get to Hue. Maybe like 2 hours, 15 minutes. So I'm going to put you back in the bike and I'll see you back there. Alright, I've arrived back in Hue. It was a very, very long drive, but I'm about to get some food. I've got some beer. I've met two lovely gentlemen. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers! Cheers, gents. Cheers. Yeah, I've got some noodles and stuff on the way, but cheers. I'll see you in the next one.